I'm Gail and welcome back to Gail's Low Carb Recipe Ideas. Today we're going to make a special fruit cake. Now, one of my followers, Bev Crabtree, sent me this recipe that she's put together and she says it's delicious and we're going to do it together. I have not tried it in advance. I'm going to make it now. It's got dates in it, and the first thing she says is, I know dates are high, but you just eat a sliver of this and it's very satisfying. So let's get started, and we're going to make Bev's low carb fruit cake. So I've got my bowl here. I'm going to put the dry ingredients in first. Now everything she gave me, she said just put it all together and mix it, and I'm kind of going, okay, I've got my egg, I got my walnuts, how am I going to do this? So I've decided I'm going to put my dry ingredients in first. So the very first thing I'm going to put in is 3/4 cup of Carb Quick, which is 102 grams approximately. Now Carb Quick is this here. I've had it for quite a while. I hope it's still okay. It smelled like it was okay. I haven't used it in a while. But I ordered this online, and it's quite a nice product, and it's kind of nice that I'm using it again. So I've got 3/4 cup of Carb Quick, which is about 102 grams. Then I'm going to put in 2/3 cups of erythritol. I'm using a combination of erythritol and monk fruit, and I powder mine. So that is approximately 84 grams. And mine is powdered. I just powder it all the time when I buy my erythritol mixture. Now we're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I've got my baking powder in there. And we're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm using Himalayan salt. So I'm just going to mix this up. I always like to mix it up so that it's equal in the flavors with the salt and the sweetener and the flour mix here. Okay, now we're going to add in, I'm just going to switch over just for a second. I've got 2 eggs that I've beaten, and I'm just going to put 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla in there. Alright, I'm just going to set that aside again. Bring this over. So the next thing we're going to do is I've got 2 cups of half walnuts. So that's about 230 grams. And you know, interesting, I never liked walnuts. Every time I tried them, they were so bitter. Well, I'm telling you, I bought this bag at Costco. And I bought a big bag. I thought, what am I going to do with them all? But I bought them because they were a reasonable price, and I opened them up and they are so good. I am so amazed on how delicious they are. So what I've been doing, I'm preparing this recipe, and there's dates in this recipe. So here I'm nibbling on some of the dates with the walnuts, and oh, they're to die for. It's really, really good. So now, the next thing I've got is I've got my dates, and I need 3/4 cup of pitted chopped dates, so that's about 179 grams, so I chopped them all up into small pieces, and my dates are here, and they are really good, and I know they're higher in carbs, and that's what Bev said, but when you divide up your servings, it really isn't that bad. So we'll just mix this up, and then I've got 10 maraschino cherries, and I cut them into quarters. Now mine are little, and I don't know if Bev uses bigger ones or not, but I cut them up into quarters just like she suggested. Makes me think I should have more of that in there. And I'm sure the ones she used are bigger, but she didn't really emphasize that. Okay, so now I'm going to put in my 2 eggs with the vanilla in it. And we're just going to mix this up well. But I was so surprised of how good the walnuts are. Because I thought, oh, everybody has different taste buds, and I'm not fussy on walnuts. Well, I'm telling you, I just thought they were so good. So I said to my husband, you might have to do the tasting for me, but I don't think I'm going to have a problem with this one at all. So I'm going to keep mixing this to make sure I've got it all mixed well. I'm going to mix a little more. I'll shut the video off just to finish up the mix. So I've got it mixed well. It took a couple minutes because I think with all the nuts and stuff like that, you could still see some of the white powder, so I wanted to make sure that I had it mixed well. So now the next thing, Bev, she has little mini loaf pans, and hers are 6 by 3 by 3. I don't have mini loaf pans, so I went to the dollar store, and the smallest I could get was 8 by 3.8 by 2.5. So it's a little bit bigger than what she uses, and she does 2 pans, 2 loaf pans of the smaller ones. So I'm going to put it in, I think, the 2 loaf pans, and what I did was I sprayed the tinfoil pan all around and the sides, because I find that things stick easy. So I put parchment paper in there to see if that will prevent them from sticking. So I'm going to divide it up, even though this loaf pan is bigger than what Bev uses, but that's all I could find. So I thought, okay, we'll try it. I could put it all in one, but I thought, no, I'm going to follow basically what she's doing, so that, I'm going to get my little knife here, so that hopefully I'm doing it exactly the same way she does. There's a lot of nuts in there. It kind of makes me wonder if I'm going to get much of a cake, but we'll see. I don't know. Okay, so I'll just set that one there, and I've got my other one. It's curling out. It's misbehaving. There we go. See if we can keep that to stay together. Now, I did taste it before I put them into the pan, and it's very yummy. Nice flavor, so it'll be interesting to see how beautiful this is going to be. And maybe I should have put it in just one pan, I don't know, but I'll know once we've got it baked, and we'll go from there. Yummies. And she says that she gets 10 slices out of the size of loaf pan she uses. 10 very thin slices, but it's so rich because of the dates in there that you really don't need a lot more, and it makes her satisfied. Okay, so I'll just press this down a little bit, get them in the corners. Okay, so now we put it in the oven. We're going to preheat the oven at 300, and then we are going to bake it for approximately 1 hour, and just do the toothpick test to make sure that it's totally done. So we're going to the middle rack for about an hour. So here is Bev's low carb fruit cake. I think I baked it a little too long, but it's still really tasty, and that's basically the size I got. When I cut mine up, I got 11 slices, whereas Bev, she has 10 slices. So she's made them a little bit thicker. But I think with the dates and the cherries and everything else, it's rich and it's really good. Very nice. Good flavor. Thank you, Bev. Thank you for sharing this with all of us. Yeah, very nice taste. Anyway, if you have any recipes that you cherish and you really enjoy in your household, and you'd like me to share with everybody else in our family here, I would love to hear from you. You can just send me an email or put a message down below the video. So if you want to try Bev's low carb fruit cake, go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com, try this recipe and try some of my others. You take care and I'll see you soon. Bye now.